Hey, it's Rambles and Rants with your host, Eric Grady, and my guest, as always, Johnny O. Axelson. We are here on a beautiful Sunday night in the great state of Minnesota, and we have some topics for you tonight. So, how are you doing, Johnny O?
Good, good. I'm just waiting for the promotion. When do I make it to co-host?
Yeah, you're and guest
I feel
still.
like I'm an assistant to the regional manager, like I want to
You
be
want to be the
I want to be the assistant regional manager.
right. No, you are definitely the co-host. We have not had any other guests on this show, so you definitely have that top billing.
By default maybe.
Yeah.
I'm
All
good.
right. So
I'm good. Let's
what are we
roll.
gonna yeah what are we gonna start with? How about the big S word?
Yeah, let's do it.
Socialism.
Yep.
It's basically communism.
Radical left.
Radical
They're going to
left.
eat your babies.
So the latest, it's funny because it's socialism when the left does it, but when the right does it, it's just politics. Like the latest with the whole meat scandal that Trump is buying all this foreign meat, won't say what country that it's coming from, and he's gonna price it 25% below market. So they're basically price fixing. So it's even more than like democratic socialists would do. It's straight up like anyway. And they're gonna flood the market with this meat to bring prices down before the midterms, so that Trump can get some red meat to his base. So, anyways,
Hey, that's a good one. Red meat to his base.
yeah, right. Um, I don't know. The mayor in New York has been getting a lot of attention lately for a lot of good that he's doing there in the city. It's actually we were just talking about when you contact your congressman and you can't get anything done. Well, there he's going and like repairing potholes himself and like doing all this crazy stuff. And he's actually seems to be engaging with the people. Uh, and then out in Michigan, our friend El Said,
Yeah, my guy.
yeah, your guy, he's been all over the news, and I think he sounds,
He wants to start Sharia law. I don't know if you heard that, but that's
yeah, I know it's Shakira law.
no, Sharia. That's what it's called. Oh, Shakira, like Shakira,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you get strolled by.
you gotta shake it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he wants to start Sharia law.
yeah.
No, I think he's got a lot of good ideas. He's very well spoken. I like that he's very upfront and he's willing to take on people head on. I don't know. I don't like I like Bernie. I think that Bernie hasn't accomplished as much as he could have in all these years being independent. And I think that the left of the party with AOC and they're doing a good job right now. I think that they've been successful in a lot of these elections, a lot of these primaries, and they're doing a lot of good things. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, your points about Mamdani and El Said in Michigan and Bernie, and AOC, like we've had, past fighters for socialism and now current ones. It does seem that now that they're being kind of challenged by moderate Dems, that they're kind of backing away a little bit. Like, there was that socialist running for governor in Wisconsin, Hong, and she lost. She was even further left. She was talking about like abolishing prisons, getting rid of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was on the chopping block.
Yep.
And I don't know. Our country is so rooted in capitalism,
Hmm.
and this. We'll get to this American dream idea, but this false,
Individualism.
yeah, individualism that like just pull yourself up by those bootstraps, and you're gonna make it someday to assistant assistant regional manager.
Yeah, someday.
Um, and it just really comes down to like socialism, the way that AOC and Bernie talk about is like taxing the rich, providing health care, for everyone, universal health care, and for like MAGA, MAGA, do you say MAGA or MAGA?
MAGA.
MAGA. That their form of socialism is like they want their cut, they want their taste, like they want to get their beak wet a little bit, like with the meats, with the chips, the computer chips, like all these things that they
Yeah.
want a piece of, so
Those
that they,
20 companies they just invested in
yeah, they want their hands in
recently.
they want their hands out, they want to take some of it. So their socialism is more like extortion and like a mob form of socialism. And it's not really a collective, which I like to think about a collective socialism, that
Hmm.
AOC and Bernie and all them have in mind.
Yeah, and you mentioned the American dream and just, how much inflation has really taken over. And I saw a thing lately that was saying that in certain parts of the country, like making between a family making between 100 and 250,000 is lower middle class. And just what our parents grew up on is completely different than nowadays. Just my dad was able to go to college just by like working a part-time job, and the costs of college have just been exponential over the last 40 years. And same thing with housing, same thing with medicine is just, exorbitantly cost. And really, um, I was talking to you about this earlier, that it's, the Democrats in our party, like Hakeem Jeffries, saying that Medicare for all is not going to happen. It's whatever. It's a pipe dream. And really, we're one of the only industrialized nations without Medicare for all, and having your healthcare tied to your employment really hurts mobility in the workforce. And it's really just like it's not good for people that have to work at a job they don't want to do because of the healthcare. And they have, it's just it's not a good system. And you shouldn't go bankrupt because you get sick. Like the right has always said, well, healthcare isn't a right, but in a collectivist society where everybody takes care of each other, healthcare should be a right. I mean, you have a right to the, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. How are you going to pursue happiness if you're sick and if you're bankrupt? So
Yeah, yeah, they want to take away like the the pieces, services, government services that would actually help to lift people up and to support them if
yeah,
they really
we
want
got
that.
4 million people off of food stamp. We pulled 4 million people off of food
Yeah,
stamps. That makes it sound like they're in a better place. No, you just took away their benefits. And
yeah, I think it's like, American dream, democracy, capitalism, these are all like kind of shoved down our throat as to like focus on these things, like focus on getting ahead, focus on competition, focus on all these things, so that you're not looking at what's really happening. That like billionaires and millionaires, like if I sound like Bernie here, but like they're the ones who are actually profiting off of all this, and we're kind of given these like false goals, like you should chase this American dream, and I just don't think it's realistic.
no, the economy is really only working for the top, 1 to 5% right now, and it's really gutting the middle class in America.
Well, and that's my tie into like democracy. That's why I was thinking about it earlier, about how that we have these gatekeepers that like we were told growing up that, and even as adults, you and I, that's how where we met. Like
Hmm.
um,
Door knocking.
door knocking, and so we're kind of taught, get involved, be a citizen, do your civic duty, and you see that like there's only, I don't know, a couple hundred people that probably run this country, and that all these things that we're kind of distracted doing,
Like
for
Peter Thiel is in everything.
yeah, that like
Is,
Elon,
is like
all
the
these,
he's like the puppet master.
yeah, that
And,
like
and then the Democrats have them too. You got your Mark Cubans, and you got
well, he's
whatever.
flipped too. Cuban's he's a red or die guy now. He's a MAGA guy.
No, not
Yeah,
not he flip flops. He's more issue based because I just saw in Texas he was endorsing Tellerico or whatever.
I saw him recently with like Trump. taking pictures of with Trump and
No,
still.
no, and I'm not saying that he's not, but he's definitely has a mix to him.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like, I mean, he's whichever way the wind's blowing, you know. um, but I was gonna say with the democracy part is that we're giving, and same thing with the American dream, we're given kind of this false sense of like we have control in our lives, like, we can get the people that we want to represent us, or we can get as far ahead in life as we want. But I just think these are all kind of false, goals and false narratives that I know I've fallen prey to. When I voted last time in 2024 for Harris, when Trump won, I'm like, I think I'm done. I think I'm done voting, and we're coming up on another election. I didn't vote in the recent. Was it a primary? Primary we
It was
had,
a
right?
primary,
I didn't
yes.
vote in that one. I probably need to vote again, even if it doesn't
Yeah,
matter. I still feel like I need to vote.
voting is good. I voted in the primary, and I supported Peggy Flanagan in her victory, so that was good.
Yeah,
Um, she had Bernie's endorsement, so if it's good enough for Bernie, it's usually good enough for me.
yeah,
Um, I I'm excited about November's election, but I'm a little bit hesitant. Like I told you, I think there's going to be a lot of intimidation at the polls. I think they're going to have a lot of federal people monitoring the
yeah.
polls and kind of intimidating people. And I think they're going to try to close them early. They're going to try to screw with mail-in votes, all that stuff. So I think it's going to be pretty contentious. But I don't know. Trump's polling at like 33%
Yeah.
approval right now, and I got to imagine that uh, blue wave hopefully is coming come November.
I think like with that said about Trump's ratings, and I don't know if you saw that they looked at town halls and like Democrats have
Hmm.
done like over a couple hundred, and
Two,
Republicans,
246
yeah,
versus like 16 or something or
yeah.
whatever it was.
It does seem that like there's something nefarious kind of like their Project 25. There's something nefarious happening for 26 where whether it's mail-in ballots, whether it's like you talk about intimidation at the polls, like the Republicans don't seem too worried. I know, they're all fascists, but they're kind of giving us that propaganda. But yeah, they just don't seem worried about losing. Like Mike Johnson, the speaker, is just like, oh yeah, we're coming. We're like,
We'll be fine.
yeah. Um, so I don't know. I just feel like there's more to come about what's being done to fix the election.
All right, should we pivot to a new
let's
topic?
yeah, let's lighten up a little bit. Do you want to talk about Allianz?
Sure.
So I had this idea. I'm stealing it somewhat from Mr. Beast. I don't really know about his videos. I just know kind of his reputation about how he pays people to do things like last the longest, like on a roller coaster or whatever. And I Eric's a big fan of the Loons and has been there, I
I
don't know,
am.
a couple dozen times.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I asked him if like how long could you live at Allianz in a pretend world like another universe where like you don't have a job, you don't have responsibilities. Um, like could you make it a month? And no cell phone as well. You couldn't have a cell phone. So I leave it up to you. How long could you last at Allianz?
Well, my first concern was how do I eat, but you said the concessions are open, so that's fine. Now my second question is where do I sleep? I guess some of those suites are probably pretty nice. They probably have some like couches or something, so I could probably just crash on a couch. I think I could last quite a while there without my phone. That would be rough. Um, and I guess I would only see people on game day, so it would be kind of
Yeah.
lone. It would be kind of lonely.
Well, you
But
could you could be like in the stands when they practice, or like I'm sure there's got to be workers around, like taking care
workers
of the.
around that come by every once in a while.
It's a turf, isn't
Um,
it? Like the
how much money am I gonna get paid at the end of this if I make it
a
like
million.
a month, a million?
Could you
Oh,
make
I
it a
could do a
month for a
month.
million?
I could do it a month for sure.
A
Yeah.
year?
Oof, a year is a long time.
6 months?
Do I see? Can my kids come visit?
Well, no, it's just an imaginary world. It's not.
Oh, okay.
It's not like. what it's not nothing to do with the reality. It's more about your endurance, like your mental fortitude. Like how long could you could you last without your phone, without really interacting with people except for the ones you find at Allianz? And you would not have any
I'll say
basically
two.
there's
I'll say 2 months, 2 or 3
okay.
months.
Because you would have access to like the TVs in the the suite, so you could be watching your sports and whatever else you want to
Yeah,
watch.
I mean, people live in prison in a way in way worse
That's true.
situations than
Yeah,
that, you know. So
yeah.
yeah, I think I could make it a while before I go
Two
crazy,
months. That we
before
said
the
2 months.
novelty would wear off. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, 2 months. How about yourself?
it's easier for me to think about it because I don't have kids. I know we're talking about still like about another world that we're talking about, but and I do pretty well by myself. Like I don't usually need a whole lot of. No, that's not true. I need the stimulation. I need movies, and I need my phone. I need. Um, I feel like I'd be very clingy. Also, like anyone who's like cleaning up at Allianz or like walking around, be like, "Hey, gonna help out? Like, what's going on with you? Where are you from?"
Make best friends with the. I'd be like best friends with the security and the night watch
Yeah,
guy and
yeah. I think not having a phone would be the hardest.
the custodians.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
say
that would be. I'm
I
so
could definitely
attached to
do
my
two
phone.
months. What's that?
I'm so attached to my phone. That would be
Yeah.
really, really difficult.
Yeah, I'd like to say I could do two. I could do six probably. Like you said about the prison thing, like
Wow.
people are doing like 40 years with like none of this.
I guess they have no choice though. We're saying like you
Yeah,
could have a choice to like walk out or
yeah.
whatever.
But if it was
Yeah.
for like a million, I mean, that could go a year if that's what it had to be for a million.
If it was a million. Oh
Yeah,
man. Yeah, I suppose it's $1 million worth a year of your life. Yeah, probably. If I didn't have a wife and kids, yeah, I'd do it.
yeah. It's an imaginary scenario, so like it's more just kind of thinking about if you could do it or not. Where do you want to go next?
Um, how about feeling old and had discipline in your life? You asked me a good question. When's the first time that I really felt old? And I said it was when I turned 29, when I was on the brink of 30. I used to play in a basketball league, and my stats, like, I would always keep track of my stats. I'd be like, I'm averaging 12 points a game or 15 points a game or whatever. You know, a few. We used to have stat keepers and whatever, maybe a few assists a game, and my points. I think I dropped like pretty precipitously, and I lost a step when I like around the time I turned 30, and I was just like, oh man, is this it for me? And then I ended up quitting the league pretty soon after that, and I ended up just started to play pickup instead. I was getting frustrated with like the referees, and and then my skills were diminishing, and I just wasn't having like as much fun. So um, and then I went back and I played years later. I played one season, and it, it was rough, but we played in like kind of a lower league. But anyways, that was like the first time that I've really felt old. But now that I'm approaching 50, um, that's been kind of like I've always kind of thought of like I don't know, like kind of like no offense, but like kind of like senior citizen kind of like starts at like 50, you know. In some cases, like you can get like a senior discount. So it's just kind of like, oh, I just don't really I still think of myself as kind of like middle aged, not like aged, you know.
Yeah,
So it's definitely, and then with the discipline, um, I gained like I've gained like 40 pounds in the last 2 years, and I've just really been lacking discipline with my eating. I've just been eating a ton of fast food the last couple of years, and a lot of um and not even just fast food, but just eating out and just getting a lot of like wings and like fried chicken and chicken sandwiches and just like a lot of french fries and just really my my discipline with my food intake has been really poor. Um, I haven't. I've still been playing soccer weekly and playing basketball pretty much weekly, and but and my lifting has been a little bit less. I've had some nagging injuries that's kind of slowed my lifting down a little bit. But really, it's the eating that's gotten away from me, and I keep being like, I'm gonna stop eating ice cream, and then invariably I just start getting cravings for like ice cream, and then I stop at McDonald's and get a dollar cone, or I stop at Quick Trip and get a pint, and so
Treat
I
yourself,
definitely.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but the problem is it's every day. It's not a treat. So I uh I definitely need to get some more discipline.
Do you feel like
Um
your discipline was better at other points in your life, or has it kind of always been about the same?
I think it was better, and then also I think my like metabolism just finally slowed down,
Yeah.
and like my testosterone is down, and so I think I'm just like I can't get away with what I
You know,
used to.
I know a guy, Pete Hegseth. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but
Yes, I am familiar with him.
he's got his program you might be interested in.
Yeah. Well, I've got this gel that I'm supposed to put on, but like it's kind of gross and I just don't like doing it really. So and
What
then
if
I
Pete
always just
Hegseth came over and applied it for you?
yeah, that would be better. Now we're talking. I
Yeah,
used to be on the shot and I didn't like giving myself the shot, so I switched to the gel, but the gel's kind of gross too, but I need to start taking it. My testosterone was pretty low and
yeah.
I need to get on that. That's another part of my discipline I need to do is take my medication as prescribed. So I don't know. How about you?
Yeah, I'm
How's your
working backwards
discipline?
from the discipline. So I was in a couple months ago to the doctor's office and found out that um, one, I was at 210 pounds,
Mhm.
the heaviest I probably have ever been, and two, my liver was bothering me. I had some like fatty liver stuff going on, like my spleen as well. I'm glad we're putting all this out there on the internet about.
Just what
Um,
people need to know.
yeah, yeah. If you want me to share test results, I will. Of those who are listening. So yeah, so he's just like, diet, exercise, alcohol, and I've gone back and forth, as you know, like with my alcohol, like on
Mhm.
and off. It's never, well, maybe it's been a problem. I just haven't admitted it, but um, and you did. I want to bring it up that you did bust me a little bit when I was got some like soju,
Yeah, yeah.
and like, oh, I just got a little soju, and you're like, I thought you were,
Not drinking.
I thought you were trying to not drink alcohol. So like I've now gone for I think 5 weeks without drinking, and
Oh, very nice.
it's been tough out at shows, music shows, because I
Yeah.
want to have something to kind of keep me in the right mood.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it's discipline feels good though. Like I feel like I've been able to hold off. My diet's been much better. I've been holding off on like fried foods, pizza, sweets. Like I
That's
have a
good.
huge sweet tooth, and so I've been able to hold off for the most part. Like I got some of those like popsicles that are just like like the fruit flavored, no
Mhm.
added sugar, and so like I feel like I'm getting my fix, I guess, as it were, for my
That's good, man. That's really good.
sugar. Yeah. And then the old thing, yeah, I remember being 35 and just like wasn't married, and at that point, most of my friends had already gotten married, and I remember calling someone I had dated before. I'm just like, hey, like what's going on? Like, what are you doing this Saturday? Like, do you wanna maybe get married? Nothing like that, nothing that drastic, but it was really like a wake up call, and then I didn't do anything about it for the next 20 years.
20 year, 20 year.
um, Turning 40 wasn't too bad. 50 was tough. Like you said, now the senior stuff, like I got my AARP invite, like the one club you don't want to be in, you know?
Right?
Um,
Uh,
so yeah, it's tough. It's tough dealing, and I don't mind like the grays coming in and all that stuff. Like I don't mind that. It's just more of like we can swear, right? We haven't, I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah, sure.
YouTube. I don't know if we're gonna put this up, but like, holy fuck, like 54. I just feel like, oh my god, like 60 is so close. 70 is not that far away. You start doing the math either way, it's like, man, life is really getting away from me. So it does feel.
Like, how much longer do I have left?
I know, yeah, it does feel a little scary.
Yeah, I had a cousin just pass away from colorectal cancer at 51, and it's scary, man. I scheduled my colonoscopy. I got it on the September 4th,
Okay,
so I'm hoping that there's nothing there. But it was a wake up call for me that I gotta get on top of that.
for sure. Yeah, it's good that you're doing that. I have a friend that like is really stubborn about that, so it's good that you're actually acting about it. Like to have somebody that
Yeah,
close to you like pass away, sounds like that was kind of like maybe the
yeah.
push you
I
needed
had
to.
already done the like Cologuard test that came back negative, and it said I didn't need to get a colonoscopy, but after that happened, I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna get one anyways.
Yeah.
I gotta be sure." So
Which one is the Cologuard? Is that the one where you?
you go in the box and you mail it in. Yeah, that's that one.
It's like kitty litter. Like you go in the box and then you ship it out. Yeah.
You ship it out. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay.
So I'm not expecting too bad of news since I already was cleared on that
Yeah.
test. So I'm not as afraid. Sure, I could have some polyps or whatever, but it should have caught the really bad stuff already. So
Do you remember?
hopefully.
Do you remember when Black Panther Chad Boseman is that right? Chad Boseman?
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
Chad
yeah. I know
Boseman.
what you're talking about.
Anyway, Boseman. He got colorectal cancer, and
Yeah.
you know in his 40s, I want to say, like, and I think he maybe
Yeah, you're right. Yep. Boseman. Yep. Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick. There we go. But yeah, I think a couple of years, he was treating it, and then passed away from it. So I think that was one of the ones that really caught my attention as far as like it might happen to you in your 40s, like your cousin. He probably got diagnosed in his what, late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah, I think he had it for 3 years, so like 48, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. We
Yeah.
do one or two more here.
Yeah, yeah. Dating apps. Let's hear about it. I just heard a stat earlier on the radio. It said that what percentage of people like leave dates early or whatever, and it was saying that a lot of people with kids will leave dates early just because they they just don't have time for like the BS. They're like paying a babysitter and blah 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 whatever. And they said that 26% of people have said that they've left a date early because the picture didn't look like the
Oh,
person that when they showed up, which
okay.
I thought was interesting.
I mean, I know you haven't been single for a long time, but if you think if you were in that boat, that if like someone showed up and they didn't look like their picture, would you would you roll
I
with it
don't
or would you leave?
I, I think like I might cut the date like let's say like the date was going to be like, oh, let's like go bowling and then maybe like we'll go out for drinks after, or like we're going to have dinner and then maybe do something else. I would probably go along with whatever like the first part of the date was scheduled to be. Like if we were gonna have dinner, I wouldn't
Yeah,
just like turn around and like see them and be like, "Oh, never mind. Like my house is on fire. Like I gotta
yeah,
go or whatever."
yeah,
I'd go through with the dinner. I think I wouldn't be that rude to just leave. But if then it's like afterwards, you'd be like, "Oh, do you want to like go out for drinks or whatever?" I might just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna head home. Like
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not
I'm trying to
really."
think back about those times when I was dating a lot, and the one date you kind of sparks a memory about was um, there was a woman who was late for our date, and she had a dog she was taking care of, like, and she had just got home from work, and she was letting her dog out. She was spending time with her dog, and I can't remember if she showed up at some point, like 30, 40 minutes later, or if she just finally at some point just said, "You know what? I'm not ashamed to say I love my dog and I'm gonna stay with my dog. And then I think maybe she stood me up. I can't remember now which happened, but some of these dates just kind of stick with me about just the wild stuff that would take place. I still remember like seeing a lot of photos, and I still see now that I'm back on the dating apps of women with their dogs, and it used to kind of bug me because it was seemed like it was
Like a proxy for their child or whatever.
yeah, or like an obsession, or like like yeah, proxy for the child. Is probably a fair way to say it. So now my experience, it's I used to be addicted to it. I used to like, love swiping, love just constantly meeting new women, and now I don't really like going on the app. Like I go on and I'm like, what am I doing? Like this is not this is not what I want to be doing, and I'm not seeing maybe what I'm looking for, and also just kind of recognizing like I'm old, they're old, and like like I'm reading these profiles about like, well, my grandkids starting kindergarten this week, and it's like, holy fuck, Um, so
Uh,
yeah, I don't love it. I don't, but I do feel like the discipline has been good. That like I don't feel like this insatiable hunger to like just keep searching, keep looking, and keep swiping. So I feel better about that than I used to, what I used to be like.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, what more of
Okay.
your yep.
Yeah, you do one more. Government gatekeepers.
Yeah, you've
What do
had
you want to do?
positive experiences, so maybe you want to talk about yours.
Yeah, yeah, I've had some positive experiences, especially lately. I've got two signs up in my front lawn for Lucy Ream and for Dr. Dan Kessler. They're local Minnesota State Senate and House representatives. Um, they uh, Dan Kessler has come knocked on my door before. I talked to him for a long time, a couple years back. Lucy, I just saw at the Chaska City River Days. Um, she asked me what my like top concern was, and I had just played disc golf with a buddy that morning, and he had mentioned that um, his girlfriend uh, was sick. She had gotten really bad something. I can't remember what it was. Some sort of stomach pains or something, but she didn't want to go in because she didn't want to pay the money for it, and they finally convinced her to like go in, and it was something that was like pretty serious, but she almost didn't go in because she was afraid of what the bill was going to be. And I was just saying that that's like we talked about earlier about how healthcare is a human right, and I just said healthcare is like really important for me, and she was like, yeah, I'm fighting for that in the whatever House or Senate, and it just made me feel good that I've felt seen by my local representatives. And okay, now you tell the opposite side of the coin.
Well, don't you want to talk about your doctor? How like he came to your house and like how long did you guys talk for?
Oh yeah, for a while, he was finally like, I gotta get going to like the next house because I just like talked his ear off, and my wife was like, sorry, like he is into politics and like he can get going,
It
and
was like half an hour or
it was a while, man. I don't know.
yeah,
I bet
yeah.
it was, and yeah, I was just going on and on. He was like, I got more houses to do.
But you're gonna call me, right?
Yeah, but we're
Yeah.
friends now, right?
um, yeah, so when the ice raids were happening in January, I contacted both my state rep and state senator. My state rep eventually got back to me, and the aide for her responded first, and like um, I said, all right, let's set up a meeting, and then he didn't get back to me after for a couple days, and he's like, and I think I had responded like, just don't worry about it, like I don't need to meet anymore. Just like tell me my state taxes because I'm not being represented. What 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 happens with those state taxes? Because I'm not being represented, I probably shouldn't be paying state taxes. So I was being a dick to
Hmm.
make a point. Um, and eventually she responded, and she's just like, um, yeah, let's I'd like to meet with you. And then so I responded back, all right, can you send me like your calendar? I'll make an appointment. And then it never happened. And then the guy, I forgot to say, the aide, he's just like, make sure when you talk to her, you're respectful. It's like, okay, like that's fine. That's a reasonable adult request. That's not a problem. It just seemed like he almost kind of lifted her up, like, she's like, she's kind of a big
She's
deal here in Minnesota.
kind of a
You
big deal.
better show some respect. And then the senator, she sent me back a form letter because I had asked about
Mm,
like where was Governor Walz during all those ice raids? Like he disappeared. And she sent me back a form letter, and I'm like, well, this doesn't really address any of the questions I had or like the information I was
right.
looking for. And then so I responded back to her form letter, and then she never responded back to my questions. And
Mm,
so, um, yeah, I'm just pretty disillusioned by our political representation. That like I just don't feel like the reps don't really care. They don't feel like their job is in jeopardy, and so it's like, why would they have to listen to us?
mm.
They feel
Hey,
we
but you met Doug Chapin.
I did. Go Doug. I hope he
Go-
wins.
He's not even your
um,
representative. He's not your representative, but
no, he was cool.
he was
Hopefully
cool.
he beat Emmer,
Yeah.
the scourge of our planet. um, so I don't know. I just think I don't, and I'm trying to think of like if it ever mattered back, like when we met, like in '06, like we were helping out a state rep, campaigning or not campaigning, but door knocking for her, and like,
Hmm.
did it matter then? Were they more receptive to like their voters then than they are now? Like it just seems like they're more insulated, more in a bubble than they used to be. But maybe it's just my kind of how I'm seeing things now versus then.
Yeah, hard to say. I guess I'm not. I'm not. I'm into politics and I like participate, but I'm not like I've got a buddy who is his job is in politics, and we had lunch a couple weeks
Is
ago,
this the gun
and he's
guy?
just yeah, the gun
Yeah,
guy, and he's just like on the issues like because that's what he reads legislation is his job,
yeah.
and I'm not anywhere near that kind of level. I read a lot of things on Twitter and Facebook and
True
um
social.
yeah, Truth Social, the and just on like whatever my homepage is, like MSNBC or what I don't know, whatever it is. Um, but I don't know if like I'm an authority enough to say like if politicians have gotten less. I know for sure that the Republicans are showing up less. I mean, we talked about the town halls that they're just not having town halls. They're not meeting with their constituents, and that's just a fact. Um, so that's definitely has changed, but um, I
Yeah,
don't know.
it
It's a good
doesn't seem like
question.
that the Republicans, that the constituents that like aren't getting these town halls. Like I know now they're doing like these like
Virtual,
phone virtual
yeah,
things where
virtual
like
town
I
hall,
don't even
yeah.
know if they take questions. But I don't know. Like I'd be angry if I was a farmer, and you have these tariffs. Now, if I'm a rancher, you're not buying my beef that I'm producing, and so um, I would feel like just taking for granted. I know like that was one of the issues for the Democrats in 24 is that there was the Latino vote that Latinos were not feeling appreciated, like included in the big tents, and that turned them off, and some of them shifted, to Trump because they were being ignored. But I can't imagine Republicans were paying attention to them. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know why they would vote that way. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems like if you're not going to make an effort to like have a town hall, or if you're not going to make an effort to respond to citizens who are your constituents who are involved, or like they want representation, like, but it doesn't seem to matter, I guess, a whole lot. They don't seem to be worried about losing votes that way.
Well, let's leave on a positive note. You should get involved in politics. You can make lifelong friends like me and Johnny O.
Yeah.
and it's your civic duty. And please vote. I don't care who you vote for. No, no, vote blue no matter who. I mean,
Yeah. Can we sneak one more in here because it ties into the to politics is lying. Um,
sure.
and maybe we'll make it lighter, or I'll make it lighter. Is that like you have kids? They are 12,
13 and 8.
13, 8. They might lie to you sometimes. You might lie to
Sure.
them sometimes. Like how do you know when they're lying? Do they know when you're lying?
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially the 8-year-old. I mean, and we'll play like games like they kind of like will kids when they're younger, they'll like cheat at games. Like I saw like today we were playing Candyland and she like lifted like the top card and then was gonna like pick from the other deck. And I was like, no, no, like you already you already saw that once. You have to like kind of call them on stuff because
yeah.
kids will kind of try to get by with like a little bit more. But that's just kind of part of the learning curve of life.
Do you feel like for the most part you're honest with them, or do you lie?
I think I'm honest with them for the most part. I think if we lie, it's like more to like protect them from stuff. Like let's say maybe if like we're in a lot of debt or something like that, I'm not gonna like tell my kids like, hey, mom and dad are in like a lot of debt right now,
Yeah,
like whatever. Like you're not gonna like burden them.
yeah,
Um, it's so I think it just depends on like the situation, but no, for the most part, I try to be honest in all my dealings. That was some of the only positive feedback that I got on my mid-year review was that I'm honest.
that's a
uh,
nice badge to have, right?
yeah, yeah, it's something. It's better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know if you, like I remember with my mom. Um, we would drive past McDonald's. These are just like little lies, and we would beg our parents to go, and stop. And she would say, I can make that same burger for you at home. I can make a Big
Right,
Mac,
right.
for you at home. And we knew that it was impossible for her to do that. I don't know if anyone could do that. So I wonder if you like if they ask you like, hey, can we go here? You say sure, and then like like it's never gonna happen.
I mean, no, usually I tell them like I'll say like probably not or like we're too busy or whatever. I try to not lie
Yeah,
very much unless it's like absolutely necessary. I try to be pretty straightforward with why we are or aren't going to do something like no, you just got a toy last week. We can't go to Kitty Wampus today, like
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Um yeah,
Yeah, did
I
you ever see
think
that Invention of Lying, the movie with Ricky Gervais?
no, yes, yes, yes I have. Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a
So
good movie.
yeah, the premise, everyone tells the truth, and eventually I think Gervais lies. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
And people are just like, I guess I believe you,
Yeah, he like goes to the bank and he's like I have this much supposed to have this much money in my
Oh,
account or
okay.
whatever and they're like, "Oh, really? Okay, sorry, our
Yeah.
mistake or whatever." And yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like, except for maybe you and your job, that like honesty is not really valued as much as it seemed like it was in the past.
Oh, I think that's certainly the case um in politics for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, people just aren't held accountable barely at all anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a guy
S-
now who's a lawyer. I think he used to work for the FBI and he wants to um, hold liars accountable. I forgot if it was like finding them or
Mm.
um, like they would not be able to run for office again, like they'd be barred from running for office again for lying that other countries have installed.
Huh,
So I would love to
interesting.
have something like that because just those that believe anything, um, it's really harmful to like our country.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I'm lying that it's not really affecting our country at all. We're fine.
And everything's fine here.
Yeah,
It's going swimmingly.
yeah,
Well, hopefully things will improve.
sure. Vikings, they're starting up.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited. I could see them going anywhere from 7-10 to 10-7. I think they'll be maybe just a little bit above 500. I not expecting too much. I mean, the wheels could completely come off too, but that's probably if something happens to Kyler. But they could be decent. They have a good coach and they have good skill players. They've got arguably the best three receivers, 1, 2, 3 receivers in the league. Um, so we'll see. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I won't be surprised if they're not that great either. So
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds about right. That 10-7, 7-10, maybe make the
window,
playoffs. Yeah. I
yeah.
do I do miss and with
They
the
have a tough division. All the whole every team in the division is good now, so it's
yeah, and Chicago keeps getting
been beat up
better and
beat up on each other. Yeah, yeah. Caleb has been playing better.
I think that like I do miss going back to kind of like how things have not been great here in our country that like looking forward to Sundays where like you just for 3 hours like you just you don't think about that.
3 hours, more like 9 hours.
More for some and less for others. Um, but I mean, I'm a lot less than a fan than I used to be, but I still appreciate just kind of like it's just such a nice. Like I got into golf for a while, like watching it on TV, and it was just kind of a
Mm,
nice, it's green there. It's like,
yeah,
everything's
my
very,
dad used to watch a lot of golf on TV, and so I used to like play fantasy golf, so I'd have some sort of rooting interest so that I could like
yeah,
feign interest in it. So no, if I had money on it, then I would be interested. So
yeah.
I would play fantasy golf, and then I could bond with my dad a little bit more over the golf.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Should we
Should we
wrap it
wrap
up?
it up?
Yeah,
Yeah, should we wrap it up with inspirational quotes?
sure.
Do-
Um, I would wrap it up with I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
I like it.
That's my
Got my mind on my money
inspirational
and my
quote
money
to
on my
pass
mind.
along. Gin and juice, I want to say.
Yes, yeah, that's the great Snoop Dogg right there.
Yeah.
What's mine? Just keep battling and battling and battling. I think that was Mike Tice.
Mike Tyson?
Mike Tice, no, the old Vikings
Yeah,
coach.
I heard you.
I don't know if I know a inspirational quote by Mike Tyson.
Yeah, probably
He's an
about
interesting guy.
what is something he would say like I'm gonna eat your
I'm gonna eat your
children or I'm
children.
gonna
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that is one quote that he said. I heard he used to have a one man show that he did in Vegas, didn't he? I
I
think
don't
so.
know.
Yeah.
I thought Mike Tyson did a one man show in Vegas. We should stop there. My jokes are getting worse. Let's
Yeah.
maybe wrap it up
All
there.
right, we'll wrap it up. Thanks everybody. Have a great night.
Peace.
All right.
See ya.
See ya. Peace. All right, you have to hang on, so don't go anywhere.
Yep.